What's up, everybody? This is Reverend Guns, and today we are cleaning a Western 6. It is a 22LR. So the first thing we want to do is a safety check. And to do this, you need to point it downwards so you can see the back of the cylinder here. There's a gate right here that you will pop open. And this one, for some reason, doesn't have a half cock on it. So you're going to have to hold it halfway so you can spin the cylinder. And while you have it held halfway, take a look down each hole and make sure there's nothing loaded in any of the chambers. This is a 6-round cylinder, so you can check all 6, make sure there's nothing in there. Now that we know that it is safe and clear to work on, we can go ahead and start taking it apart. So on this one, there's a screw right here in front of the cylinder. A lot of other revolvers just have a button there, but this one's a screw. So you're going to need a flathead screwdriver to unscrew it. And once you got that screw out, there's a pin that's right in front of it. You want to pull that out. Set that aside. Alright, we're going to flip the pistol over. And you want to open that gate again, and with the hammer half cocked again, you're going to have to hold it there. The cylinder should just fall right out. That is everything that we do to take it apart. So I'm going to go through and spray it real quick. Make sure we get everything covered real well. Get down the barrel, get the hammer plate, and for the moment, while it's soaking, I will run through and explain the tools I've got sitting here. I've got a soft bristle brush. It's got a little detail end on the end of it as well, so you can get into the small areas. I've got a harder bristle brush. This is good for stubborn carbon. If it just doesn't want to come off, that's more than enough. Gun cleaner. Everybody has their own opinion and preference. I suggest that you try them and see what you like best. Just get the little small bottles and see what you like. I've got a, whoops, wrong caliber. Need a 22 caliber barrel brush. I've got a 22LR jag. Got the bushing wrench, a punch, and a screwdriver. Don't need these two tools, but you saw where we needed the screwdriver. I've got a gun oil, a rag I use just for gun oil, and I've got some 22LR patches here. You need something smaller than your normal patch. Q-tips come in handy, and I've got rags sitting here so we can wipe things off as we go. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with the little stuff first, just kind of get that out of the way. This gun's pretty dirty, so we just want to go over all of it. Just give everything a good scrub. You're not going to hurt anything. The only thing I'd be worried about is the handle, the grip here, but that's why I use a soft bristle brush, so I don't have to worry about scratching it with the metal or the brass. Let's grab the cylinder pin here. We'll wipe that off. Alright, let's work on the cylinder itself. Now, I like to use the barrel brush to get in the cylinder. It really doesn't matter which way you go with it. I start from the back side, which is the side with the little gear notch looking thing on the side of it, and poke it through. You don't have to use something as rough as this. I mean, if you want to just scrub it out with a Q-tip, you can. But the cylinders usually don't get real dirty, unlike the barrel. So you just kind of need to do a little scrub on it and break loose whatever's in there. Like I said, this gun's pretty dirty, so we're going to make sure we clean it up real good. That's got some stubborn carbon on it. We're going to use the heavy brush on that. And I'll even poke through the cylinder hole just because it is a functioning part and we want to make sure everything gets scrubbed one way or another. So this, I don't know how he did this. But that is one dirty cylinder head there. Alright. Now we could use the jag if you'd like. For such small holes, I'm going to use Q-tips to wipe out the centers, or the cylinder holes themselves. You'll kind of see how dirty they were. All that was in there. And one more time for the cylinder rod, or that hole for it anyway. And this is why I like to clean it, because it does get rather dirty. You can see how black that is. So I honestly don't think this gun's ever been cleaned. We all know 22LR rounds are quite dirty rounds. They get messy really easy. I'm going to start on the pistol itself, and we're going to do the barrel first. Kind of get the crud out. And push it on its way through. Pull it out. Now the big deal here is, normally I tell you not to go in the muzzle end, but because it's impossible to get the rod in from this side, you want to make sure you have a rod that is long enough to make it in the barrel without the handle hitting the end, because the last thing we want to do is dent or chip or damage this in any way. So make sure your rod is long enough and just run it through a few times. It might feel gritty at first, but it will smoothen out. And once you feel you've got a good scrub in there, you can go ahead and scrub the rest of it with your brush. Nothing real particular about doing any of the rest of it. You just want to give it a nice little scrub down, get any dirt or carbon that is left on here. Open everything. At least give it a quick brush down. Want to make sure you get around the entry of the barrel here. This is where the explosion mostly happens. All the gunpowder residue is going to go right here. So you want to get that cleaned up real well so it doesn't build up and cause the cylinder to stick or cause a round to get jammed or something. Alright, let's do a quick wipe off and make sure we get rid of any extra solvent, cleaner, any carbon, dirt. This is your chance to give it a good wipe off. Alright, time for some lube. Grab our gun oil and our gun oil rag, smear a little bit on. Now there really isn't much to oil on a revolver. For this one, we are going to take the cylinder pin, and you see how there's a notch in it. We'll do from the notch back. That way it's will slide into the cylinder, and the cylinder will freely spin on it. I also like to do the ejection handle. I'll hold it out and wipe some on there just so it doesn't bind up and it kind of oils that spring inside there. And then we'll pump it a few times to let it work itself in. If you want to do the hammer, you can. Just a little dab. We don't want to do a whole lot because oil attracts dust and dirt really easily. So the less we put on here, the less we're going to attract. So once you've got your oil put on, well, damn, I actually skipped a whole step. I need to go through and clean out the barrel with the jag. I scrubbed it but didn't wipe it out. So anybody else catch that? So take your jag, put your cloth in, right in the middle, and push it all the way through. Yeah, I'm glad I caught that because that sucker is pretty dirty. So we'll do this until it doesn't show any more black on the patch here. My running average of patches is 3. After 3 swipes, it's like clear and clean and ready to go. Yeah, see, here's the second one. There ain't much on here. It's just a little bit left on there. So let's do one more just for good measure. Stab it through. There it is. Yeah, look at this one. This one's practically clean. It'll never be white. It'll always be kind of a gray, or it may look wet. Yeah, how much oil you had in there. So once you've gotten that part done, we've already gone through and oiled it. So we'll just give it a little wipe off here on the end. That's where it was coming out. And now we can go ahead and put it back together. So what you want to do is, let's flip over the pistol here. You want that gate open again. You take your cylinder, and one side's got a gear looking circle, the other side looks like a washer. The gear goes towards the back. So you want to drop this in with the gate open. Okay? And you'll have to, again, pull the hammer halfway back so it'll fall into place. Go ahead and close that. And now we're going to take the cylinder rod, slide that back in the hole. It should pop right in just like that. And to finish this one off, we got to take the set screw here for the cylinder rod and screw that back in. Pretty simple. Doesn't have to be tight. I just do it just snug. And now we can do our final wipe down. I'm going to grab a clean rag here and use this time to polish everything off and make it look brand new. Everybody likes a clean gun. This is your time, literally, to make it shine. Right. And there you have it. We just took apart, cleaned, and lubed a Western 6. This is a 22LR. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys learned something. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. I also offer the online course to get your Texas license to carry a handgun. It's the 4-hour class broken down into segments and saves your progress so you can do it at your own pace. After completing the course, you will be able to print your certificate. Then, it'll help you locate an instructor close to you, no matter where you are in Texas, so you can complete the shooting portion of the course. This is all certified by the Texas Department of Public Safety. Check it out at reverendguns.com. If you have any questions or comments, please add them below. Be sure to like and subscribe for more firearms education.